So we're going to go over some options in that position. Sam, can I borrow you, please? Since you look all fancy in your Gracie, Ohio custom gi. All right, so when the person's buttoned up like this, right? Right now, Sam's being too nice. You're not, yeah. You're not going to sit like that, right? Okay, so, but there's almost always going to be some space in here somewhere. Okay, even if the person's dug in really tight here, there's almost always going to be some space for me to drive this knee in. Okay, so first let's talk about the position itself. This, not a good position for you to stay in. This is a transitional position, right? The turtle should be renamed the fetal position. You're not doing any attack from this situation, right? You're only really defending and not very well. If we were striking, this is terrible. But nonetheless, a lot of people will go to this position, and if we can capture them here, we want to kind of hold them here. So first, let's talk about the position. If I drive this knee in between the arm and the knee here, I'm going to grab his pants down here, or if he doesn't have a gi, just hold on to the ankle, all right? I center my chest right on top of his spine, and I'm going to sink down at this angle, down towards his shoulder blade, okay? So let's turn this way a little bit. So once I drive this knee in here, in between the arm and the leg, I'm grabbing here, I'm holding this nice and tight against the hip, and I'm sinking here like this, okay? So when I do that, you feel what's different about me just being here, right? If I'm just here like this and attack, like turn to face me, put me in the guard, yeah, not a problem, right? Now, if I hold here, I pinch this tight, now turn to face me, put me in the guard. Hard for you to even stretch the leg, right? Okay, so if you really want to attack the guy, get used to holding this position, putting all your weight here and sinking down towards that shoulder and pinching the elbow tight here like this. Now I can really dive in here and dig. Now what we're going to do today, instead of finishing a choke from this position, there's all sorts of awesome chokes. We're going to get in there and we're going to peel this arm out. Once we get the arm out, there's all sorts of attacks we can do from this position. So once I'm here, I shoot in like I'm trying to attack the neck, but what I really want is my knee. So I grab my own knee and I slide this arm out. Once it's out far enough, this is far enough for me to capture this arm with my leg. So I'm going to pull this heel in. Now, once I have this back, I point my toe up towards the ceiling. Post this arm on the floor. This is basically a shoulder roll. And as I roll, this arm goes underneath here, and I'm hooking this arm. So I tuck and roll, and we end up here. Okay? So once we get to this position, I'm wrapping here behind my head to kind of keep this arm out of the party. And what I'm going to do is I keep this figure 4 here, but I'm not just squeezing my legs like this. I'm opening my knee. You feel what's happening. You see? Yeah. You feel like your hips have to come up, right? Mm-hmm. And when they do, harder for you to tuck your chin. If you're comfortable down here, yeah, he can slide down. I don't want him to do that. I want to put pressure on that arm. So now I come here. I dig for the collar, use my shoulder behind the head, and pull the wrist here. So I'm bending like this as I kind of keep the pressure in the arm, and I drive my shoulder into the back of their neck. All right? Everybody with me? Most of you guys have probably done this before, right? Yes? No? Yeah? Some maybe, some maybe not. Okay, so first let's talk about this space. If he's tucked in nice and tight, it doesn't matter. I can still drive that in there. I start digging in. So get comfortable with your position first. I want him to think about his neck, so he's kind of pushing, making some space and opening. Now I slide, hook, point the toe to the ceiling, dive through, tuck and roll. I'm already grabbing my own neck here to keep this arm out, away from his neck. I put pressure on the arm. I open my knee towards the floor, okay? So I'm opening like this. You feel the pressure on the arm. Naturally brings the body up. Now I come here. I feed the collar nice and tight. Okay, I can take my time here. It's gonna be hard for him to tuck his chin. So I dig nice and tight, and now shoulder in, bend the wrist, okay? So you have a lot of options here. The next thing we're gonna do is essentially just improve the position just a little bit more, okay? You can finish that arm lock, right? It's there, it'll work. And sometimes you can even finish that from this position. If I get this out here like this, and I just drop my hips and pull the, sorry, that's good. It's kind of abrupt, and pull my heel up, you can finish the arm lock right there, okay? Now, sometimes we saw some guys end up with this arm over here. If that happens, we're gonna do something else, okay? But we'll get to that in a minute, all right? So we're here like this. When I tuck and roll, okay, I'm always trying to improve my position. I get here, and let's say I put the pressure here, but I'm really having a difficult time. Maybe he's got this hand in here, and I'm having a hard time getting the the finish, his hips are up, I slide the knee underneath, and now I come here. So now I'm on the back, and I still have the arm trapped. You see where my leg's at? I still want to make sure this is stuck underneath. This comes across the belly, okay? And now I've got a little bit of a better position to finish. I can finish the choke, rear naked choke, or, just stick here with this. So fighting this down. So just improving the position just a little bit more, okay? So if we go there again, I get the arm free, I slide out, boom, I hook it, I start the whole process here. I start putting the pressure, right? And if this arm's here a little bit more tucked and I don't have it behind the head yet, that's okay, it's not the end of the world. So if it starts to come back in this way, I want to pin it down, okay? I don't want it to come up here to the neck. But if it does, I slide my knee under like this. Now this foot goes on the floor, I scoot my hips, and now I can trap here. So his arm is still trapped underneath him here. So I'm on the back, but I've got the arm trapped, all right? So now we can finish with rear naked choke, or just stay right here for collar choke, just like we did before, okay? Standard, or just shoulder behind the neck here. Yeah, so basically, what I had was, we rolled, we ended up in this position. He goes here like this. I use my elbow now. I can still hold the arm. I can still hold the arm behind my head and use my elbow to push the hip. My knee comes under. I move. I plant the foot on the floor, move my hips. Now this leg can come over top and trap.
Thank you.
Okay, make sense?
Yeah.
So not so easy for you to pull your arm free, right? Good. Had to check. Now some of you guys are sometimes instinctively or naturally, when you start to dig like this and they start to feel that pressure, you see what happens? Your arm goes back like this, okay? Okay, good. That's not a bad thing, but it's going to change. Now I could still do the roll and end up on top. You can still put the pressure on the arm, but it gives them a little bit more wiggle room to escape, right? So when the arm goes from here, I drug it out like this, and I start to put the pressure. The only way to relieve the pressure sometimes is for them to turn the thumb down. It goes behind this leg, the one that I used to peel it out. Now I'm going to switch. This arm's going to come here. I reach underneath and I grab his knee. Now be careful when you guys do this. Now the shoulder roll is here. Now right there's a shoulder lock. Now most people are going to tuck and roll with that. So if he goes over, you okay? You comfortable? If he goes over, you block his neck. You sit up. You've got your figure four here, and you scoot yourself back for the shoulder lock here. So it's basically Kimura with your legs. Okay? You guys with me? All right. Now, don't. Okay. Put the disclaimer on the video, whatever. Don't go crazy on your shoulder roll. You're going to rip your friend's shoulder, okay, if they don't go with you. So go very slowly. You have to have control. If you don't feel like you can have control, don't do it. Okay? Promise? All right. Very, very tight position here, okay? When I come out here like this is the scenario. I pull this back, he turns the heel down. Now I'm behind this leg, okay? I'm going to keep this tight so he can't get the arm free, but my arm goes from here to this side to here. And I reach through, I grab the pants. I tuck and roll over the shoulder that's closest to him. If he rolls with me, I have to come up here. I block his neck, I sit up. Still have this wrapped here, underneath my knee. I scoot back, creating that 90-degree angle with his arm. I keep scooting, keep scooting, and there's your shoulder, your Kimura, basically, with the legs, okay? Sometimes the guy's gonna tap right there, okay? When you first start your roll. So talk to your partner. Everybody's got different shoulder flexibility, okay, and dexterity, so be careful. Everybody with me here? Go slow, all right? Let's turn this direction a little bit, please. So I get here, I pull it out, I dig, he turns the arm that way. I come here, post, keep everything nice and tight here. He may tap right there. If he doesn't, be ready. You have to block the head so he can't sit up. Now you scoot yourself back. Scoot. Okay? If you need to keep this leg tight to keep the arm in there, you can, right? To keep him from straightening it out. Or just use your hand to hold it. Okay? You can just grab here like this. But it's very simple. You scoot yourself back. By scooting back and kind of leaning here, it naturally raises the shoulder up, and your leg is pushing the wrist down to the floor. Okay? So if I'm not there, what's happening is this shoulder's lifting up like this, but I'm not letting it sit all the way up. And then the wrist is coming back by my leg. My shin is kind of pulling the wrist back like that. Okay, so it's essentially Kimura. All right? Got it? Or inverted omoplata, whatever you want to call it. It's a shoulder lock. $10 move of the day. Ready? Go.